Oh, yeah, epilepsy warning, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright, it's too late. I think we lost those people.
I'm sorry. Antimatter? Oh, Jesus.
Remember, the planet Jupiter is the core. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Justin. We are back with the final episode, well, somewhat final episode of Gunbuster. We're here with episode 6 of Gunbuster. After this, we will also be doing Renewal or something. It's things that I didn't watch in my solo reaction, so they'll be new for me too. Only just discovered that they existed, and hey, we're gonna finish off Gunbuster. We're gonna finish it off completely. So, you have no fucking idea what's coming.
Yes. I have absolutely no fucking idea what's happening
Yeah,
in this episode. Um, Last episode, we got the emotional send off, a big battle, and the return to Earth to find the person who one of our main characters loves isn't actually dead from space radiation. And the moment of coming to terms of the fact that you can fall in love and move on to a degree from our other main character. As for apparently there might have been some unresolved stuff that was dropped. I did not pick up on that whatsoever. So if I end up looking like a real dummy, I'm fine with that.
I don't think you're gonna look like a dummy. I think this episode is it's a thing. It's a thing. I don't know how to describe it until we see it, and then you'll be like, "Why didn't you just fucking say something like that?" It'll be
Um so as for predictions, I have absolutely none. However, as for hopes, I hope I hope that the Earth is destroyed. I hope they have the balls to have the invasion force be too big and that the Earth is just gone. I think that would be an incredible ending after what they did.
I feel like we're in different ways here. There's the normal thing that I think it's one of the reasons I said I liked the show originally, or at
Mhm.
least this recording session that we're doing, where they have the willingness to destroy or kill or at least maim the good guys' stuff, right? You don't know if any of the good guys are going to make it through. It's a short OVA run. We don't know what they think is important to the story. That makes it acceptable to do stuff. But in the realm of this is inspiration for Gurren Lagann, there is a I don't know if feel is the right word. There is a point to things where you and I get angry that Kira's not dead, right? That sort of thing.
Yes.
Where we're currently at in Gundam Seed. This will come out around the nearest time. Anyway, um, where we're at in Gundam Seed. Spoiler. Spoiler: the main character didn't die. Um, in
Yeah. So
shows like
yeah.
this, we shouldn't have that feeling.
So I don't. It's not that I have that feeling. It's that I don't know where else we could go other than like showing the rest of the lives of the people that we just watched.
No, no, no. I mean, I get what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like in shows like Gundam Seed, we're angry that Kira's not dead because of logic, right? This just fucking makes
Yes.
sense. He should be dead. If the world works a certain way, we expect it to continue to work the way. In shows like this, we should be rallying against the logic, not the character, right? That's the kind
So
of way these shows work.
I agree, and I think that I would be perfectly happy and fully content with us having a fully happy ending.
Oh, I'm not even saying that. Oh, I am not even saying that. Um, I've almost quoted a Gurren Lagann line when I told you something a second ago. So I am just saying that maybe don't come at this with any Gundam feelings. I'm not saying don't compare it to Gundam. I'm saying just the same
Yeah.
emotion set that you come to a Gundam show with. This isn't
Oh,
that.
oh no, I figured that was the case. Um, my I think it would be very possible to do a very impactful ending where it's just, yeah, we held them off, but space is too vast and we died. Like, I think that would be a completely suitable way to finish what we just saw.
I will say that I think episode 6 is maybe, in my mind, tied with episode 4 for being the best episode of the show.
Okay,
So, just to set your expectations to an unknowable level.
correct. Yeah,
Well, I guess there's not much more we can say about a thing that you have no idea. So,
it's
all I can
true.
say is let's go ahead and get on into it.
Let's do a thing.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
15 years later. Back in Okinawa.
Okay.
Kochi's dead!
Does not surprise me.
Ah, and then she became the principal. Our former villain.
He had a whole arc.
Off screen.
私の方が10歳も年上の
True.
おばあさんだなんて宇宙とは不思議なものですね。また宇宙へ行かれるのですか？ええ。まさかあなたほどの人が志願なさるなんて太陽系絶対防衛戦の英雄ですのに。
あの時戦えたのはノリコのおかげですのよ、柏原さん。本当に地球を守ったの
She grew up too.
あの子だわ。
Yeah.
コーチ、本当に今日行っちゃうんですか？ええ。
She's the coach now.
しばらく戻っては来られないわ。
Ooh. I love it.
これみんなで降りました。一緒に宇宙へ持って行ってください。
ありがとう。大切にするわね。
コーチ、これお母さんからノリコおばさんにって。
I mean, you know who this kid is, right?
コーチ、私たちコーチがお母さん
That is the daughter of what's her face, who's yeah.
There we go.
I know who that is.
私もお待ちしておりますわ。
We'll all be waiting.
ありがとう。
Final episode. Sorry, I get choked up a little bit. Ah. No damage in this region. Just thought you should know.
Okay.
どうぞこちらへ。
このロープウェイは軌道上の第三宇宙ステーションメリディアンスターまで直通で参ります。
You heard that right. This ropeway is bound to orbital station.
ご注意ください。
Okay.
あの辺りはまだ普及されていないんですのね。
ブラックホール爆弾の建造に全力を傾けてますから。 そんな余力はありませんよ。
The black hole bomb.
そう15年も経ちますのに。
雷王星軌道で60秒も超重力崩壊を起こしたのですから、惑星3つと地軸の歪み程度で済んだのもむしろ幸運と言えます。
そうね。
しかし今回は宇宙怪獣の巣ごと銀河系の中心を全て飲み込む計画です。果たして人類にそんな権利があるのでしょうか。銀河系そのものを破壊するのですよ。
そうしなければ人類は滅びます。
What?
それが運命ならば
The scope, man. The scope.
私はこのまま何もしない方がいいと思います。
それは自殺行為ですわ。自殺が果たして幸せと言えるのでしょうか。
わかりません。
Quick, Justin. Would suicide be a good ending?
本当はわかりません。しかし、それは後の歴史が判断してくれるはずです。
So I wasn't wrong, but I wasn't thinking big enough.
Well, I mean, you were wrong. Well, they don't plan to blow themselves up. Technically, they're saying the damage done to the Earth was because of the black hole that they put into the solar system for 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And now they're planning to destroy the center of the galaxy to get rid of the monsters completely.
The scaling is wild.
Also, technology has gone a long way in 15 years.
Yes.
地球脱出を諦め宇宙怪獣に対し反抗をかけるこのカルネアデス計画もあとはいよいよ本体の到着を待つばかりとなった。これも君たち二人のガンバスターのおかげだ。その本体もあと12時間後には合流する。
I'm guessing she's been in space the whole time.
It could be.
タイムスケジュールは1000分の 1%
Without knowing anyone's backstory, we don't actually know what they've been up to.
Actually, we know because we saw her on Earth.
Doesn't mean she couldn't have gone back to space at some point. It's been 15
True.
years.
工事の計画では友人のはずだ。
誰が乗ってくるんでしょうね。
ロシュキャンセラー起動。問題なし。縮体炉内圧力上昇。エーテル波動値プラス3に修正。
Yes, the
that-
outfit was super necessary.
Is that Sailor Moon villain our main character?
マニシングモーター接続。
Yeah, she's been our character this whole time.
開始。
ワープ開始。
Well, I mean, you know, secondary main character.
Yeah. I repeat my stance. Is that Sailor Moon villain who we're following?
重力およびエーテル波すべて正常値。成功です。
ここまではな。我々は人事を尽くしました。あとは天命を待ちましょう。そうだな。もう我々に残されたのは神に祈ることだけだ。奇跡を信じるしかないか。
完備。
I mean, you remember how they didn't have a plan and they were running out of time. The people making the show, I mean.
Yeah.
That all they had was storyboards and then names. Black and white, man. Black and white. It is good for the show, though, I feel like.
It makes it feel impactful, but at the same time, it makes it also feel like they did that for budget constraints.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not budget. It's time, I feel like.
技術はこんな巨大なものを作ることができるというのか。
It's a black hole bomb that dwarfs planets.
さすが銀河の中心ね。宇宙が白いわ。
Jeez.
やっと会えるんだわ。
ようこそエルトリウムへ。
Okay. That's an interesting choice made as well.
よかった。もう会えないのかと思っていたのに。
What do you mean?
The choice to not age to
Well,
not
of
age
course she
her
was
either.
gonna. Well, do you see the wedding there? Wedding picture. But of course she stayed on Earth because that's the way to stay with Coach.
I get that.
It's only 15 years has been 6 months for our main character.
ダメね。年を取ると辛気臭くなって。そんないえ、太田中さ。いいのよ、今まで通りで。その方が嬉しいわ。そうだ、高見さんから預かり物があるのよ。えキミコからだわ。のりこ、お元気？あなたとの高校時代、今でも懐かしく思い出します。あの頃はまだ3つだった娘の高見も
今度18になります。私が生きている間に会えるのは無理かもしれないけど、せめてあの子が生きているうちにはお帰りください。待っています。どうかお体だけは大切に。ではお元気で。高谷のりこ様へ。あなたの親友赤い木。
Your high school friend is giving you their last message because they're probably going to be dead by the time.
のりこおばちゃん、早く帰ってきてね。
Jeez.
のりこおばちゃん。
Well, your high school friend's daughter is older than you now? Because she's 17,
that
probably.
or same age.
Well, yeah, well, her daughter is 18. She was 17 when she went back to Earth the last time. It's been another 6 months, so maybe she's 18 now. So your high school friend is dying of old age, and her daughter is the same age you are.
Yeah.
Also, you hear that? The bomb's core is the planet Jupiter.
Wow. Okay. They're This can't end well.
最後に人類の存亡はまさにこの一戦にかかっている。必ず勝ってくれ。以上。全艦戦闘配置。全艦戦闘配置。全方門開け。
シズラー銀、シズラーブラック、シズラーホワイト。
Was that multiple gunbusters or just different ships? Or like different mechs? Of course.
あなたはいつも私が欲しいものを手に入れるのね。はい。コーチもバスターマシンもあなたのものよ。ユック、まだ言いたいことは山ほどあるけど、明日にするわ。
I appreciate that they handled the key to the gunbuster the same way you handled the key to a gas station bathroom.
Yeah.
Here's a center
They're
block
like
with
here.
here's a center block with a key attached. It's how you operate the deadliest machine in human history.
You better bring it back. If not, we'll know.
55 minutes.
パパの船から始まったこの戦争ももうすぐ終わるわ。安心して。そしたら帰るね。
By destroying the center.
のりこ、2号艦には私が乗るわ。
Okay.
そもユンガが譲ってくれたの。これで最後になるからって。
I mean, you have no fucking idea how Gurnlock this is right now.
Since there is not another episode, this will be the end.
The least Gurnlock part of this episode is how long it's taking stuff to happen. Just to give you a clue of where we're going from here.
Got it.
それは奇跡とかいうものです。
奇跡か。神が今の我々のために作ってくれた言葉だよ。
班長、エリア 573D に重力進。敵集団がワープアウトしてきます。
そんなバカな。
People say Diebuster is better than Gunbuster. I have no fucking idea, but I can't wait.
艦長、奴らは直接ブラックホール爆弾に体当たりするようです。
何？特攻か？奴らめブラックホール爆弾に気づいたな。
So they've noticed it, the thing bigger than planets.
How did you see it?
Super Exilion class.
That makes sense because discovery would be progress would be exponential once you hit a certain point. So 15 years, that makes sense.
Got shields.
まさか自爆するなんて。敵の数が多すぎるわ。のりこ、分離しましょう。了解。
続いて第2波、第3波来ます。
Oh, yeah, epilepsy warning, I guess.
Yeah.
It's too late. I think we lost those people.
I'm sorry. Antimatter? Oh, Jesus.
Remember, the planet Jupiter is the core. How many Earths can you fit into Jupiter again?
What the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah. Things go boom, fighting. We're not gonna animate this. We're just gonna show you drawings and put a wavy filter in front of it.
How quickly they destroyed the first fleet.
Yeah.
Operational.
Okay.
Operational. Cratered, but operational. Three minutes. Conversely, 14 minutes of runtime left in the show.
2562隻です。
This is so.
第3次宿題まであと60秒。
全スレーブ作動開始。
Left field is wondering where this is out of.
敵主力は沈黙を守っています。
あれだけの損害で稼働している。まさに
奇跡だわ。
みんなよくやってくれた。
Keep saying that word. The jinx every time you use it.
開始まであと30秒。 稼働20秒前。
It's almost like you're getting told to be a good pilot from La Flaga.
10秒前。8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1。
どうした？
ダメです。スレーブが 98% しか作動しません。
そんなバカな！
質量不足です。中心部で縮体連鎖を起こさない限り爆縮は始まりません。失敗です。
なんてこった。人類のすべてをかけた結果がこれとは。神も仏もいないのか。
天が我らを見放しただけで。
Black and white is perfect for anybody asking, is there no God?
It's true.
奇跡は起きます。起こしてみせます。
高谷君、何をする？
バスターマシンにも大型縮体炉があります。それを使って起爆させれば。
いかん。人が乗っているものを点火線には使えん。無人船を送り込むまで。
Makes sense.
その前に敵の主力部隊が来て破壊されてしまいます。
高谷君。
お姉様。
太田中佐、君まで。いいえ、
こうすれば縮体炉が2つになります。のりこ、1つ残っていれば地球に帰れるわ。お姉様、2人で帰りましょう。地球へ。はい。
Fucking show.
時間がないわ。変形して突っ込むわよ。はい。
頼む。
あれが木星。
The core of the bomb.
3万分の1になってるわ。
Oh, it's compressed Jupiter too. No, compressed Jupiter 1. Sorry, somebody could script that.
収容終わりました。
敵の様子はどうか。
沈黙を守っています。ワープの兆しもありません。
Not the
どうやら
14th
次に
wave.
来るときは120億を超えていますね。
直接とどめを刺すつ
Hope
も
you
り
like the 250 million attack. Now we're at 12 billion attack.
Yeah.
表面温度1600度、外圧15600 ppm。大丈夫、まだ持つわ。私も行くわ。
ユング
Jump too.
帰って。シズラブラックでは木星の圧力に耐えられないわ。構わないわ。ユング、間違えないでユング。私たちは死にに行くのではないのよ。
自殺じゃないわ。でもこんなところにいたら何十年何百年先かいつ帰れるかわからないのよ。もう同じ時は過ごせないのよ。
知ってるわ。
Yep.
だったら。
でも
We didn't even like you
みんな
anyway.
は同じ時を過ごせるわ。高見ちゃんにはそんな思いをさせたくないの。これで最後にしたいのよ。
The communication was broadcast to everyone too.
生きていれば明日が来るわ。
お願い、キミコに伝えて。必ず帰るって。じゃあね、ユング。
さよならは言わないわ。行ってきます。
An elf named Firin told me
行ってら
that.
っしゃい。のりこ、カズミ。帰ってきたらお帰りなさいって言ってあげるわ。
中心部まであと2マル。これより更新不能となります。
ガンバスター、限界圧力に突入。
お願い、耐えてガンバスター。
これでバスタービーム、バスターコレダー、すべて使えなくなったわ。静かね。この辺りで生きているのは私たち2人だけね。
ごめんなさい、お姉様まで。
She came because she wanted to.
のりこと一緒
Yeah, no, she didn't. Holy shit, that's nutty.
やるわ。お姉様の命、私に預けて。
And the
Get used to it, man. It's what anime
Okay.
is.
Yep.
ごめんね、ガンバスタ
ー。電源オフ。1号の全力運転。宿題開始。
宿題開始。
重力宿題を確認。ガンバスターです。
And now the thing is gonna happen.
2、臨界点突破。のりこ。
Benefit of having tracked feet.
再始動確認。宿題連鎖確認。
There we go.
第
Let's
3次宿
see.
題開始しました。
全艦離脱。予定通り超長距離ワープに入る。
了解。全艦ワープ準備。
全艦ワープ準備。
のりこ、
月に本当に生きて帰ってきて。
Even if they don't come back alive, that's still got to be counted as a success.
Yeah, but what do you care if her friends are dying?
It's true.
It's not about I'll never see you again.
ママ、どうしたの？
え？なんでもないのよ。ちょっとね。のりこが呼んだような気がしたの。
She has that mom hearing.
Yeah, goodbye, galaxy. 12,000 years later.
Jesus.
Oh, I need time dilation, man.
I'm not gonna think into the science of what would happen if
just give it a
the
second.
center of the
Give it a minute before you start.
明かりが見えないわ。やっぱり人類は滅びてしまったのかしら。この辺りが沖縄だった。
People have told me that some of the characters are like backwards, implying that they don't speak Japanese anymore.
お姉様、帰ってきたんだわ。私たち。ありがとう、ガンバスター。さようなら。
That's the
I
end of Gunbuster.
appreciate it. I appreciate what they did in the moment.
What do you mean, Mom? They
How
set this
in the-
up.
12,000 years.
Jung said, "Yeah, these are the fucking saviors of entire mankind. You don't think they're gonna remember and be on the lookout for them? If you don't think that they died, and you know time dilation is a thing because you've been dealing with it since episode 2, you don't think?"
I see it.
Like I said, the idea is, what I've heard is that some of these characters are backwards or like written wrong, but overall still says welcome back. The implication is no one speaks Japanese anymore after 12,000 years, so they're like doing their best to say welcome back. Because Jung, in a conversation mid-episode, says, "We'll say welcome back the moment you come back."
I suppose I'm more baffled by the implication that 12,000 years would pass after the destruction of the center of the universe, and Earth would
One is the center of the galaxy. Two, it's a black hole bomb, so they gotta get past,
yeah.
The terminology is escaping my brain right now. Basically, they've got to power their way through the event horizon of the black hole, which means that already time is dilated to an extreme while they're in the event horizon.
Okay.
Plus the time dilation of them traveling, which was like last time we saw 6 months to 15 years.
No,
And
I see it.
the thing you were saying when sorry, I didn't mean to like shut you up, but it's like
Okay.
it was a very emotional moment and I wanted to let it play out, or at least you, if not the audience.
Yeah.
You were saying I don't know what that effect would have. Remember that the Earth had parts of it ruined when they created a black hole, a relatively small black hole at the edge of the solar system. So assumedly, they had also said, do we have the authority to destroy the galaxy? They knew that putting a black hole bomb in the center of the galaxy was going to destroy the galaxy. I think that's what the fade out is, where you see the black hole being, is that you see it basically destroys the connection of every arm of the galaxy. So I assume that when we see 12,000 years later, it's just the solar system flying off by itself.
Got it. Okay.
Again, all interpretation. They didn't
100%.
They didn't talk about it in the science thing. I guess I'm gonna reveal here now that we recorded our science episodes in the last two backwards. So when you guys see us in the next part reacting to the science lesson in this recording, it's actually us from an episode ago reacting to the wrong one.
Yeah.
So when you've watched that last episode, I didn't think to say this at the time because I didn't know, but the last episode is us just after this reacting to that one. Some sort of weird time effect at play. It's funny. It's like
Indeed.
it rhymes. It's like poetry.
We are caught in our own loop of time dilation, but it's a real like minute level.
Yeah, it's a Green Hill Zone Sonic loop-de-loop.
Exactly.
No, I mean that gets to me every time. Got to me more the first time, but this time it was more about seeing if you reacted to it. But I could see you were more about the black hole bomb thing.
I get. Oh, okay. I understand why it would get to people. I don't think they both should. I don't think they should have lived. I would have got to me if they did not live.
I don't think it would have.
If,
I feel
if
like
there, if there was some loss,
if you expected them to die, I don't think it would have gotten to you because you would have gotten what you expected.
No, because when I have a prediction or like that it would be cool if they did this, it's not an expectation. Because I know that I'm not the person writing the show. I'm not the person who is in charge, who was in charge of putting this where it is.
I think for me, it's literally the same thing you're getting. Because, effectively they did die.
You're not wrong.
The world that they existed in died. That's basically, as we said, I'm sorry. She's crying. She says, I'm sorry, I'll never see you again, Kimiko. Because Kimiko is long dead. Jung is long dead. The captain is long dead. Everybody is dead. So is it any different that they survive in the future? That literally, if we had the camera had stayed on Jung, the bomb would have gone off. They warped away. Her friends are dead. Everything is the same from a different perspective.
I get what you're saying. I see it.
For me, it's that we stayed with these two characters the whole show, and now and we get a moment where it seems like everything is gone. Like this is where Okinawa should be. The planet seems fucking dead. I think we did all of this, sacrificed all of our lives and everything we cared about, and it didn't matter. And then you get the welcome back. And it's not just that everything that they know and love is dead, they left everything behind. It's that they weren't forgotten. 12,000 years and they're still remembered.
That's the part that took me out of it. I think so. When I say that, I still think this was a phenomenal episode and phenomenal show. Great ending. What would have had a greater impact for me would have been if, like, we saw them land on Earth and people not know who the hell they were, because then it would have been a moment of they know what they did.
Did you like the remake of Planet of the Apes?
I never watched it.
Okay. You know the twist ending, right?
Is it the same as the original?
No. 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 It's basically a completely different movie, so it's hard to, it doesn't have any of the same thing going for it.
In that case, I do not know the twist ending.
Yeah, well, there's a twist ending, but it's not really the same thing. Anyway, I'm not going to spoil that. It just feels like you're the kind of person that likes that, and a lot of people hated it. So, I kind of enjoyed it, but at the same time, I'm also kind of in both camps. I see what you're saying, but I find that your proposed ending would be less impactful for me. In fact, I prefer the fact that they don't land, or we don't see them land, because what has happened to humanity in the last 12,000 years? That it's in
Well,
your
yeah.
imagination, I feel like, is better than seeing it.
I think that is a very valid point. The point that would have sold it for me, and the reason why I expressed it as the landing and all of this, is the fact of I want to. I would have loved to see a moment of them being the heroes with nobody knowing, because it would have propped up the character and been that final little cherry on top of they did it, and they don't need that recognition. They have Coach. They have the people they did it for, and this is the result.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is that the captain of the ship recognizes that the sacrifices they're making, and this at least acknowledges even then that the captain survived because somebody
Yes.
came back to tell everybody what happened. So
Oh, absolutely.
even then, you know that some of your friends or the people that you know managed to get away and then had a life afterwards, because otherwise nobody would know. So even then, it's a minor acknowledgement of some sort of happy ending for the people that we don't see in 12,000 years.
Yes. Yes. And I think that is absolute. I think this absolutely sells that fact. I think it sells a lot of what it meant to do, and it does it correctly. This was very well made.
I think
Was very good.
when I was watching this originally, I just thought they were dead, right? Because you see the gunbuster floating in like wreckage. So I was like, oh man. So the fact that they were alive in there already put me on the back foot emotionally. And
Yeah.
then to see the welcome back, and it's like, that got me choked up because it's like, okay, they still remember them. I understand what you're saying with it would be impactful not to be remembered because it's kind of realistic, but as I said, this is the kind of show push logic away, fight against
Yeah.
logic. I don't know. I thought it was more impactful because it's like 12,000 years later, and even if they are alive, what are they coming back to? And I think I've read a number of stories, sci-fi stories, that have already set me up for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's, God, I can't remember what it's called. It has like Crystal in the name or something. But it's literally a woman who goes off into like an expedition ship with a bunch of other people. Her leaves her boyfriend back on Earth, sends messages back and forth, and then one day they're out and they're sending messages, and the entire fucking Earth gets destroyed by an alien invasion. And they just keep going, and I can't remember what happens, but basically, she flies outside of the universe. It's like the big crunch sort of thing happens,
Yeah.
and she's outside of it, and the big crunch happens, the universe is basically destroyed, and then the Big Bang happens again. And from her
Okay.
time dilation perspective, she witnesses all of creation happen again. And apparently, in this story, the universe just keeps reliving the same time over and over again. Everything that's happened happens again and again and again and again. Big crunch,
Okay.
big bang, big crunch, big bang. So
Yeah.
she witnesses everything, and it turns out she's the one that creates the alien race that destroys the planet. Everything that's happened is because she's been outside of the time thing, messing with things from her perspective in time dilation. It's like she eventually
Okay.
does go back to Earth, and there's like an older woman character, in the beginning of the book that was like her teacher and everything. Turns out that's her. She just goes back in time or goes back into this new universe, and teaches herself. Everything is her. So I've seen this sort of weird time dilation, Earth destroyed, people don't know you thing.
Yeah.
And I liked it in that book. Does not fit here.
It's true, and I get that it's probably very much a more classic anime trope to do it this way, and I think this way is much more of a hopeful ending.
I don't know if that's hopeful either, because you still have the melancholy of everything you've ever known. Like, you've got to readapt to a society that might consider you to be, like, the barbarian, right? You're not.
Absolutely.
You've got to be educated on everything. I guess the fact that well, one of them is 18, young, and able to readapt. The other one, what, should be 35, maybe early 40s by now?
Around there.
Well, if you figure she was 17 before, plus 15 years, give or take. We don't know how much older or younger than our main character she might have been. So,
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Very impactful for me. I guess I appreciate that I have a different point of view this time going through. Not me, you. I mean, you are the
Yeah.
different point of view here on the channel. Otherwise, it would just be me mirroring the same thing that I already watched. So,
like, it makes me think of one of my favorite movie endings that I have ever seen. And that would I can't remember what the name of the movie is, but they go spelunking into a cave, and there's a parasite down there that basically infects somebody, and they turn into they turn into a sort of like monstrous creature. And the whole movie is them trying to get out of the cave without the parasite.
I thought it sounds like a movie that I think I know, but there's already monstrous like humanoids down there.
Yes, no, 100%. There already is.
So is it the whole movie was a dream? Because
No,
the ending I'm remembering, I think I'm remembering, is that something happens to her and she goes through this whole harrowing experience, and then when she gets out, she gets into a car wreck and she wakes up and she's still in the cave.
no. So the ending is the one of the two survivors. Like they think they're out, they think they've dealt with it, but they walk by the camera and their eyes flicker like the parasite.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's that.
I don't think
Yeah,
it's the movie I've seen. I also think I'm conflating two different movies together, where a husband is trying to kill his wife in a cave, and when he
it's
gets she gets
entirely
yeah,
possible.
she gets out and gets into a car accident and realizes she's still. I don't know. I think it's God, something like The Depths or something like that.
I know we're thinking super similar movies.
Well, no, I think we are thinking of the same movie. And my problem is that I'm mixing two different movies together that involve a cave. But I think
Yeah.
I don't know, because the one I'm thinking that I thought you were thinking of is literally like she does all this shit and like through something happens to her in the middle part of the movie, like she gets injured, like she falls a good distance, gets knocked out, and she wakes up throughout the middle of it, and then everybody else dies that she went on this trip with, and then she like crawls out of a hole and gets to the outside, and it turns out she was still unconscious in the cave, and everything's about to play out all over again.
Yeah, 100%. That's it. It's The Descent.
Okay. Yeah, the movie I'm thinking of. Maybe I
Yeah.
don't remember the ending. So, that's fine. I don't think I actually watched Descent all the way through now that I think about it. I think maybe it's an ending I made up. And people don't like that it was all a dream ending, but I guess technically this would be the movie was a dream and it's about to happen again, which I kind of like. Because that's did you ever see the fourth Hellraiser movie? I want
No.
to say Hellworld, but that wasn't Hellworld. There's a Hellraiser movie where it's just a cop going throughout his day, and it's like the worst day of his life. I think his wife commits suicide right at the beginning of the movie. Then his
Oh.
partner gets killed, and he's like tracking down these mysterious masked figures, and just basically his like I think his whole family gets killed, and then you find out at the end of the movie he's in hell, and this is the torture that Pinhead and gang are doing on him, is that he has to keep reliving this day over and over and over again.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, witnessing everybody get killed around him and him being tortured and whatnot. I just like that concept of the inescapable evil trapped in. I told you Cube is my favorite movie. Hypercube is very dumb, very sci-fi, but it's also very in my wheelhouse of movies I like too. It's basically we put all the same concept as Cube. We put a bunch of people into this cube, see what happens, and
Yeah.
and it's a hypercube, which means that every multiple universes of them are all in there. So like, there's one guy who in the very beginning is like, I am starving, and he looks over at this other fat guy, and he starts talking to him, and he's like, oh, I got this watch from my wife. She engraved my name on the back of it during our anniversary. Blah blah blah. And then later on, you see him wearing that guy's watch, and you imply, but now this is a multiple universe thing. Later on, he's like got 6 watches on his arm.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Either way,
it's in my wheelhouse.
Either way, I'm gonna count OVAs separate to traditional anime for ranking list. This was very good. Clearly number 1.
I mean, I wouldn't, but that's fine. We can do that. Because this is all leading. This 2 OVA series are leading into a series. So
yeah,
if you want to count them as part of Gurren Lagann, they're not technically, but you could if you wanted to. Either way, we have a final sort of science lesson to go through. So
we do.
Let's go ahead and hit that up. Oh, last episode was so quiet. This one was so loud.
I know.
お久しぶり、天野です。さて、6年ぶりにまさかの復活を遂げた新科学講座。その4プラス第1回は宇宙船についてです。
I don't even know what that means.
説明してご
After
らんなさい。
6 years.
ごめんなさい。6年前のことなんですっかり忘れちゃいました。
仕方ないわね。
Also, their weird background thing has 892.67 gigabytes free.
化学反応式ロケット。
In the 80s, they had a terabyte drive on this old Mac.
宿対炉を装備した類的型の超高速宇宙船です。
まさに人類の夢。これの一番艦がパパのルクシオンですね。
ええ。そして
2013.
第4世代のエクセリオンではエーテルを積極的に利用するために
2016
従来の類的型ではなくリフティングボディを採用しています。
そうでしたっけ？
第5世代のエルトリウムはさらに進歩し
2023, last year. They literally watched it last year, yeah.
あれ？この船メインノズルが見当たりませんけど。
そう、いいところに気がついたわね。第5世代のエルトリウムはエネルギーの反作用で進むいわゆるニュートン型の粒子推進ではないの。純粋数学を使って周囲の空間の物理法則を書き換えながら進むいわばアルゴリズム。
It's basically the heart of gold drive.
この船では空間の薄くなった因果率をカバーするために高中心には電脳化したイルカと超能力者を
Oh, we did see dolphins floating around in there too. You didn't mention it, so I didn't say anything.
コーチ。
高谷、今のは天の罰と知れ。その程度のことも覚えとらん
Because he was dead, remember?
すみません、思い出しました。
Yes.
まあいい。ではバスターマシンについて説明してみろ。
はい。バスターマシン3号は決戦用の戦略兵器として開発されました。3号本体は半径1万光年に敷設された約3000本のスレイブの起爆信管も兼ねています。バスターマシン1号2号は3号の直縁を目的に試作された
Maybe this is the last one. I have no fucking idea.
合体して究極のマシン兵器ガンバスターになります。
量産型のシズラーでは変形合体を省略して宿対炉を1機のみとしているわ。
じゃあガンバスターが無敵なのは宿対炉を2機搭載してるからですね。
甘いぞ高谷。ガンバスターは努力と根性をエネルギー
No,
に
this
して
wouldn't-
無敵なのだ。努力と根性には
This wouldn't be the
限りがない
last one
からな。
because
コーチ。
6年経っても進歩のないやつだ。
あなたもね。
because things we see in the future make sense.
Yeah, but the
Because of that last
typical
comment.
pattern, the typical pattern of the science episode is to teach you a thing after the episode you saw it in, not before you see it.
Yes, but it seems like specifically that last statement set up the next
Yeah,
thing.
but they don't do that, though. They never set up the next thing. They only talk about the last thing. Anyway, I know I'm already wrong because the last science episode starts with, "This is the final episode." So, but they do say in this one, after 6 years, we've come back. Maybe this is the last one, and they made this after because people were confused. But then why would it be 4+1? Why wouldn't it be 5+1? I don't know. That the thing at the very beginning where they said we're back after 6 years. Nothing in the
So
show had a 6 year break. It was a 15 year
I
break
will. Yeah.
and then a 12,000 year break.
I will tell you off screen because I don't want to give away the connection because of the order these were filmed.
Oh, sorry. I understand what you meant now. It took me a minute to recognize what you were saying there.
So you see what I'm saying?
No, but I understand what you meant to tell me.
Okay, yeah, I'll.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Yeah.
I don't understand this. I understand
Okay.
you. I don't understand
Got it.
that.
Got it. Got it. Beautiful.
I mean, anything to say about what was actually being said?
Dope explanations. I like that they did show how exponential it is possible for the for technology to increase.
And that was the course of 15 years. Little 12,000.
Exactly.
I mean, we kind of saw what the Earth looked like after 12,000, so. And again, the fact that they've moved on language-wise, but yet didn't keep a record.
Well, that makes perfect sense anyways.
I don't know. There's a lot of sciences about dead language and everything. Like Latin. Latin's a language that's never been the version of Latin.
But we don't have an example of 12,000 years on Earth for language.
Yeah, we do. Do we?
No, the Earth hasn't been around for that long.
Oh, don't tell me you're one of those.
Not the Earth. Like humanity.
Oh, thank
via
God.
science hasn't been around for that long.
Oh, I thought you were going to be one of those that the Earth could have been built yesterday and God could have put on memories in our head. You wouldn't know. One of those Bible truthers, what it is.
No.
The Bible says the Earth was made a certain amount of years ago, and science says it couldn't be that. Anyway. Yeah, no, I don't... Okay, you're probably right in the long term. I don't know how far back civilization goes. I want to say, what, 6,000 years? Like I said, civilization specifically, not humanity.
I know I know what you meant to say.
You know, like early Mesopotamian, River Valley culture, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Man, a problem with my memory. Anyway, I don't know. Like I said, we're still like investigating like the meaning behind certain coins we find in lost civilizations and those sorts of regions. And it feels like, well, it's not even that. You're saying your example is don't have an example of 12,000 years. My example is we live in the information age right now.
It's true, but there is an argument to be made that the way that we are storing information is not going to last past us.
Example.
Because it will break down over time in a more harmful way in comparison to like the etchings we find and
The
stuff like that.
counter example already exists though. 8-track was a format that does not last. 8-track didn't survive the people that created it, right? Not because it got replaced by another thing, but 8-track cassettes just like degraded really fast. And yet people still manage to transfer 8-track to cassette.
Yes, but that happened when we have people around. What's going to happen if something eliminates people?
Well, that didn't happen though. I'm using the example of the real world only to apply to what we saw in the show. The people survived. That's what I'm saying. The fact that they got the language wrong, according to the comments, like certain characters they say were backwards to imply maybe not so much like child spelling, but um, that they don't know the Japanese language that much anymore. But still, you don't think all of those babble choruses or, you know, how much information loss could there be to one know about the language but not know the language? We got people today that'll teach you how to speak Latin, ancient Latin, which has never been heard before.
But we don't know if they're actually teaching it teaching what it was.
Well, obviously, I mean, but my point
Yeah.
is, I'm just using that as the far extreme example.
Of course.
That,
So
that there's still probably communities of people out there, like people speaking Esperanto, you know?
Yeah. My only other argument against that is we've seen the loss of information in the public eye happen over our lifetime.
It's not the loss of information, it's the disregard of information. But it's hard to believe that a language could still fall in the same realm as
over 12,000 years. That's a lot.
Well, I mean, I think I may be putting words in your mouth. It feels like you're alluding to like politically inconvenient facts versus
not at
a
all.
language. Because a language
Not
isn't.
at all.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. You're saying loss of information. What are you referring to?
So, I have this experience. There is music that was put out that it holds excessive historical significance to some of the most popular music out right now. Yet, if you were to mention the artist, the name of the song, or any of it, kids would go, "Who the hell's that?"
That's popularity. That's not the same thing. If you mentioned it and a kid wanted to, they could look it up on their phone.
That's what I mean. Popularity over 30 to 40 years alone removes importance from information. When you get on a scale of 12,000 years, you're going to lose so much.
Here's the thing that I feel like defeats that argument is the fact that they were still actively looking for them and prepared for a planet message. So that indicates still popular. Or still in the public zeitgeist.
Mm-hmm.
The difference there is you're saying, hey, you know, the song that you like, it's not even based on that other song that's really famous. It's based on this not popular song that these artists made famous by their version. And
that's not even what I'm saying.
That is exactly what you're saying. Because you're saying, no, I've watched these videos before where it's like, hey, you know that recent remake of a song, and you know it's popular by, say, Led Zeppelin, and you're like, yeah, kids, they don't know Led Zeppelin. Well, it's actually been made popular by Mama Cass back in the 1950s. And like, no chance a kid knows Mama Cass. The origins of famous music. And I'm saying that this is passed down for 12,000 years. Like, these people must have a daily, hey, remember the Galactic Heroes, you know?
Yeah.
Deified, I guess. These people have been deified.
If that is the narrative that is being suggested, I fully accept that.
I mean, I don't know if it is. I'm just saying we have to wrap our heads around how people remember anything for 12,000 years. And we know the short-term logic of the... Remember that story I was talking about, that the engines of God, clouds moving around the galaxy, destroying anything with right angles? The main message of that book is the short-sightedness of the human race. Because after we find out about the clouds, it becomes a political problem where we just push it off. Because it takes those clouds a long time to get somewhere. It's going to be like a couple of 100 years before they get to Earth. We'll deal with it then. That sort of thing. We're still us in the future. Stupid fucking humans. So, the short-sightedness, how do we get past that to remember two girls for 12,000 years? That's why I said deification, if we go to church every Sunday to remember these two girls, or You know, we do every day at 12 o'clock, we say silent prayer to the two girls that saved us all.
So, but what would also end up happening would be at some point there would be some person who comes out and is like, hey, 200 years ago, since that point we've been praying about these two girls who saved humanity in a giant machine. That's not what happened. It was a guy in a ship, and then someone's going to say no, it was an alien that gave his life. Like, it's all going to get so twisted.
I mean, that's actually a legit explanation of why the words are backwards. It's like
100%.
it's like when people are in an acting role and they don't speak the language and they just learn to say everything phonetically. They have no idea what they're saying. That's why it sounds weird sometimes, because it's just their accent saying words or sounds that they don't understand. So I mean, that could be an explanation. It's the Holy Scripture. Turns out we kind of got it wrong a couple of times in history. Became an image more than it was a bunch of words. I mean, did you ever watch Red Dwarf?
No.
Oh, that's the joke in Red Dwarf. He gets put into a freeze because he brought a cat on board the spaceship, and bringing alien life forms aboard the spaceship is a crime. And then when he's in the freeze, everyone dies to a radiation leak, except for his cat and him, of course, because he's been frozen. And his cat, it's been billions of years, millions of years, something like that, so it's evolved into a humanoid species. And they have a religion based on his laundry list that was in his hamper. And they get it all wrong. And, like, he wanted to open, like, a restaurant in Fiji or something like that. And they have, like, a deadly war between one another based on the color of the hats that he wanted them to wear in his restaurant.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he just goes through their, like, Bible and says everything that they got wrong from his laundry list. Anyway, we're not done with Gunbuster yet. We have 6 more minutes of show to go through. So, I guess I'll figure out how to release that. But first, we gotta react to it.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, I think so. It's either that or I put out full episodes. But I don't think the company, if they still exist, would appreciate that. Somebody's still probably monitoring their right holdings.
Well, if that's the case, yeah.
But that'll be next time on Stoneface Reactions.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?